Welcome back, bigots. I wasn't originally planning on doing a follow-up video to my recent video about Collective Shout, but because of all of the information that has come forward within the past couple of days, I feel somewhat compelled to do so as the situation has changed and dramatically, but I can't say that I didn't tell you so, because I totally did tell you so. And when I say tell you, I mean the people who are in denial, not you, my dear viewer. So, Collective Shout posted a response to the blowback to their insanity, and it's how you expected it to read. So press pause and read all that because it's loads of fun. But the response to them has been overwhelming, and one of the responses was from our old good pal here, Savvy, who states, "If you go to Collective Shout right now, who is still privated, they are losing followers." Now, why are they losing followers, Savvy? Well, she answers that by saying, "They are being abandoned by the unsuspecting individuals who had their compassion weaponized. Truth works. Facts are all we need. Post their ridiculous behavior. They put themselves on display, after all. They defended cuties and want Detroit become human banned, of all things. They wanted to take credit for payment processors suddenly being aggressive and tens of thousands of games being banned. How'd that work out for you?" And she gives a list of reasons. So, Savvy's not entirely wrong. The backlash against the censorship has snowballed, as I knew it would. In my previous video, I expressly stated that since they tried to censor video games of a certain caliber that you may or may not agree with, agreeing with that content is irrelevant. They were always going to go after more. And what we've seen in just the past several days has been an amazing snowballing of the series of events. What we were trying to prepare everybody for is this meme right here. Card declined. Please delete all tweets that violate your bank's hate speech policies to protect payment, to process payment. This is the exact type of thing we're trying to avoid. Now, this is a meme. This hasn't happened yet, but this is what we're trying to protect everyone from. Yes, I understand. Not everybody agrees with adult content within video gaming or adult content as it exists on the web. I understand that. I completely understand that. Some may agree with it, some may not. What I knew is that once a small amount of censorship is successful, they're not going to stop there, and they're going to want to get more censorship and more censorship, as I expressly articulated in my last video. Now, we've been saying, and a lot of us, I've been seeing this meme spread all over the internet as well. We beat him before, we can beat him again, being SPI, and now it's Collective Shout. It is kind of the same fight. It's kind of the same fight, so I don't disagree with that meme entirely. But if you're wondering, how can I make a difference? Well, this individual posted this comment, giving the phone number out to Visa. Now, before I continue, I must stay for legal purposes that I do not want anybody, especially on my behalf, to harass anyone. If you are going to call Visa or MasterCard to express your feelings about the matter, please do so in a respectful and cordial manner. Nevertheless, this person lets you know what the number is and kind of the talking points, and also that some of the customer service representatives at these Visa and MasterCard locations, I know that they have been getting, well, I'll put it this way. Their patience is running out because they're getting inundated with an absolute flood, a tsunami of calls. So, I would say that that is working. We need to keep up the pressure and let everyone know we will not be censored under any circumstances whatsoever. Now, as I mentioned before, just in this video and in the previous video, I mentioned that things were going to snowball out of control. There's a domino effect in effect right now. And here's what it is. Would you like to see some evidence? Because I got it. I got the evidence that anyone would need that, yes, the snowballing has already started. Take a look at this. YouTube brings AI age estimation to United States, and some users will need to show an ID. Go ahead and press pause and read all of that, especially the highlighted portions. They're going to use AI to guess, to estimate somebody's age on YouTube. And if they think that the content that you're watching is for kids below legal age, then they're going to start blocking you. And if you are above age, then you have to show your ID to view the things that you wish to view. That's censorship. And that is a crazy, unprecedented level of control that I don't want any agency or company having. And it gets better or worse, depending on your opinion. Representative Jim Jordan has this to say. UK regulators threaten American companies with censorship. And I quote, "We will be monitoring Rumbles' position carefully." Well, he shows a document stating that the UK is going to start blocking Rumble videos, or something to that effect. They literally said, "We will be monitoring Rumbles' position carefully, and we'll be in touch should we become aware of anything that contradicts the above position, or any incidents on your service that cause us to believe the level of risk to Rumbles' UK users is of concern." They're going to dictate what you can and cannot watch. That is censorship, and I find it odd that these types of things are happening immediately after Collective Shout. Kind of seems like a coordinated attack, doesn't it? Kind of seems that way to me. And, it gets even worse than that. Take a look at this. Australians will soon have to verify age before using Google search. Are you kidding me? Well, Collective Shout, I said the joke and not the real word. Collective Shout has started this. They started this, and exactly what we said was going to happen is now happening. This censorship is going to get out of control, and there's going to be pushback. Now, I don't know how far this is going to get. I don't want it to go any farther, really, and I don't want the response to be too crazy, because then even crazier things happen, if you know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if they get even more authoritarian, speaking is hard. If they get more dictatorial than they already have become, then the response to that is going to get crazier. I don't want that, but it kind of seems like that's what's going to happen. Now, to lighten things up a little bit and to bring a little brevity into the situation, somebody came to the rescue. Did you know that somebody is on our side now, the anti-censorship side, and you're not going to believe who it is. When I saw this, I'm not kidding, I laughed out loud. I actually laughed for a good minute as I saw who this was. Anita Sarkeesian. That's right. That Anita Sarkeesian. She has this to say. Someone give this brilliant book to the puritanical angry moms who bullied payment processors into all but banning you-know-what games. The reason we even have online payment processors is because of that type of work. And she says other really is equally ludicrous stuff. Now, I'm not going to even explain this book at all to you, but I find it funny that Anita Sarkeesian, of all people, is on our side. She also says, I really hope someone starts a counter-campaign to fight this regressive puritanical nonsense. How incredibly ironic of Anita. Why is this ironic? Well, because she is one of the ringleaders of the entire Gamergate movement. She's the reason why we are even in this pickle that we're in today. So I gave her a little piece of my mind. As I said, Anita Sarkeesian, you started this. You and your little promiscuous friend campaigned on censorship because you didn't like pretty ladies in video games. Now, suddenly, you're worried? The chickens are coming home to roost. You incalculably stupid person. And I mean that. I'm not backing down from that. I'm not going to delete that tweet. Not going to do it. I know I'm right. She started this whole dog and pony show, and now she wants to sweep in on her high horse and claim censorship? No, lady. You're going to sit this one out. That's what you're going to do. You don't belong here. By the way, if anyone needs any other evidence that this lady is a loon, if you don't remember, maybe you may not know, but Anita Sarkeesian married herself. No, I want you to just stare at that picture for a minute and you just soak that in. Marinate in this. She married herself. I don't know what else to say to that, and to this person. It's just, oh my gosh. And so, learning the law has something to say about Anita Sarkeesian too, which I also want to get into because it's important. Learning the law said, did you know who was on the panel at GDC 2022 when dishonest users were saying she disappeared? Of course, it was Anita Sarkeesian. She ended the speech by saying, "We won." She never left. But to these people, we say, not yet. Now, I have just one thing to say about the statement when she said that we won. Did she really? I want to put things in perspective just for a moment. We, at this stage of the cultural war, I hate to say, but it's kind of... a part of me wants to say that it's 50-50, but I want to say that we're winning more than we're losing. And what I mean by that is, when you look at games like Concord and Forspoken and Dustborn, and you know the rest of those games, you know all of the examples, those games all failed spectacularly. So did she win, really? Sure, she was successful in infiltrating the video game industry and getting her Tumblr and a DeviantArt crowd into that environment and usurp as much power as they could and then pervert everything we've come to know and love about the video game industry. Yes, she has done that. But the results haven't been very good. So I just wanted to put things in perspective for you. Now there's one last thing I want to show you, and that's the old Roach King himself, 𝐷𝐞, otherwise known as 𝐷𝐚𝐦𝐞𝐩𝐥𝐚𝐲. I like this guy. The majority of the time, I agree with 𝐷𝐞, but I wanted to show you something that he said, which is, Internet Real ID is inevitable, especially for social media. Denying this might feel good, but it is a lie, and you know it. What isn't inevitable is private companies having access to our public records. The best solution, he says, is a government authentication token that only verifies information. And I had to reply to him. As much as I love 𝐷𝐞, I didn't like this input. I didn't like this opinion. I think it's kind of an L. I think it's a big fat L position to have. So I replied with, "That's a frightening fine line you're drawing, my friend. What makes you think these companies won't, as if they haven't already, willingly given up any information mother government demands?" Now, this right here is a concern of mine. If you remember the whole Snowden shenanigans, that whole story blew all of our minds, and that wasn't that long ago. If you care to remind yourself, go ahead and Google Eric Snowden for more information on that if you aren't familiar. So, a lot of the government agencies kind of already have our information. Let's be honest with ourselves. They already have the vast majority of it. We like to live in the illusion that they don't, is my own personal opinion. I'm not trying to say here's a black pill. I'm just saying I think they already have a lot of it. But if they don't, then it would be best, 𝐷𝐞, to keep them from having any of our information at all. We should be a free and independent, liberty-minded people. And Internet Real ID is not the way to go. Anonymity is highly important for the internet. And that anonymity may protect children as well. After all, think of the children, am I right? That's all the time that I have for this video. If you liked what you heard, please like and subscribe. I know that many of you are returning listeners and viewers, but haven't subscribed yet. Please do that. It helps me out, and it helps you know when I'm got a new video up and running. So please do that. Remember that I'm on Gab. Always go to Gab. Gab's great. And I'm also on Odyssey. I always back up all my videos there on Odyssey. And, that's pretty much it. Until next time, have fun.